Let's shift to the other topic as well, because markets watching trade, but also watching what might happen at the Fed. And Larry Kudlow also addressed concerns over Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell's job security. Take a listen to what he had to say.
There is no effort to remove him. I will say that unequivocally at the present time. Yes, he's safe.
I like that. I like the unequivocally at the present time. At the present time being the operative phrase used there. Guys, Powell will head to Capitol Hill tomorrow. Heidi, what are your expectations and what we're going to hear out of Jay Powell when it comes to maybe his positioning over what might happen at the next policy meeting, whether or not he's weighing towards a rate cut?
Of course, that's the most important thing. It's the language that comes out of his testimony. I think the main things we're going to focus on is the assessment of the current risks that are in the economy. What he thinks are the cross currents that he mentioned earlier. And I also think that he's going to be asked about the Trump attacks. That's all. I think we're going to hear a lot from Senator Warren as well as AOC. He's going to get grilled when it comes to that. But Kudlow also said that he believes that the Fed should be independent, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't listen to advice from their elders. So that's going to be a big topic as well. And I think Facebook's Libra is going to come up, just the cryptocurrency space in general, questions surrounding that and how regulators are looking at it. So I think those are just some of the key things that I think I'm going to be paying attention to, as well as some market participants.
And what about, I mean, when we talk about Fed speak, obviously it's important because the shift has certainly moved dovish when we look at it, from patience to supporting the expansion. So I guess if there was a signal really to shift, as of right now, the market's pricing in that cut. I mean, would there be any language that you'd expect Jay Powell to use to maybe temper expectations?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing right now is the markets, it's almost 100% chance that they're pricing in that rates are going to get cut at the end of the month. But the data really isn't there yet. I mean, barring the uncertainty of the trade wars, which is one thing they mentioned last time they spoke as a reason to cut rates, but even though nothing has really escalated.
The jobs report as well.
Jobs report came in strong.
Very strong.
Exactly.
Beat expectations.
But the market is pricing in a 25 basis point cut. But I think the 50 basis point cut is completely off the table.
I would agree with that.
No one's really looking at that anymore. But I think this week is kind of a noisy week in terms of Fed speak, and we're going to get a lot of clues, as well as the minutes from the June meeting are going to be released tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's also going to shed some light on what the policymakers are thinking, what their opinions are in terms of the state of the current economy. So this week is going to be crucial.
You're right. I mean, when you look at the 50 basis points cut, that probability, when we look at the Fed Watch tool, I mean, it was kind of 60-40. Now about 100%, as you're saying, pretty much 100% that it's just going to be a 25 basis point cut. Who knows if that goes a little bit further based on what we hear? Could eventually see even the 25 basis point cut probability declined. I don't know. It depends on what he's going to say. That's why this is so important, and we will be watching and bringing that to you starting tomorrow.